Anything special?
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. I'm gonna take them straight in the cell and punish them, you know, because I already had the philosophy was always, if it start right here, it finish right here. But now you on a new prison, new rules, you got to adapt and adjust to whatever's going on. You can't be fighting out here in this block, or you can't be, you know, taking off on somebody and you gonna get shot, man. And you got to, you know, look out for your welfare, your well-being, man. And like I say, them pellets coming up out of there will tear a dude out the frame, or you might lose an eye. That was my worst fear, losing an eye. So I definitely wasn't trying to put myself in none of them situations. Only way I was gonna be in one of them situations is somebody just straight took off and punched me, you know. So like I said, man, I put that philosophy in my head. I kept on going on with the stuff. The camp started loosening it up. Next door filled up. And just like I told y'all at first, when they take over and they come with all these rules and regulations and they shooting people and they trying to get control and they trying to run this prison the way they wanted to run, it's not going to work like that, because you're going to have to be dealing with these convicts that's going to come in here and they're going to change the whole atmosphere, because they're going to buck. And when the young dudes see them bucking, the young dudes going to start following suit. The young dudes that came in at first, they scared and they listening to all this. They might be new, fresh coming in prison or whatever, or been in a year or two, and they don't know no better. So now when they see these older dudes and these old heads is bucking and standing up for themselves and they ain't going for all the foolishness that they trying to impose on us, then they start following suit. Then the whole culture started to shift of how the prison is being run. They ain't in control like they think they are. They still got the guns. They still gonna shoot. They still, you know, gonna be able to overpower you at the end of the day. But at the same time, when you let them know that they gonna have a force to deal with, that people just ain't gonna go for anything, you're not just gonna treat us any kind of way, and we're not gonna just do everything you say just because you say do it, then it started changing, man. They started having a wreck. We started going out on the yard. Dudes started moving around, and then the next thing you know, man, the whole compound is filled up now with all of the dudes this from Virginia. They done got all of the Lorton dudes out. So now, you know, you got different things going on, man. You got you got the dudes in there. You got all these new female COs, all these new regular COs, and dudes is trying to get with the female COs. Dudes is talking their stuff, trying to holler at them. Dudes is starting to fluctuate. Next thing you know, boom, 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 drugs on the compound. You know what I'm saying? Now dudes is getting high, and you know it's starting to be just like a regular penitentiary. And it don't take long at all. This is less than probably a year, right at a year. It's like in the flow of a penitentiary now. You know, fights is breaking out still. You know, dudes is still getting shot. They ain't ease up on that gun whatsoever. They still busting that gun. You know, dudes that got to the point, man, where when you go to eat, you go to chow. They call it chow. When you go to chow, man, dudes don't like you or something because they got them guns out there in the tower too to watch you everywhere you walk. So when dudes go to chow, dude don't like you, dude beefing with a dude might shove a dude outside the line and the dude fall in outside the line. And the people can clearly see he done fell down. That's why he outside the line. Bah! They shoot. They don't even care. They shooting, man. I'm telling you, they was abusing their authority up there at a high level, man. And they was getting away with it. Won't no retribution, man. You won't no way that they should be getting sued for that. Shit, losing their job. I think when they shoot somebody, they just had to take a couple of days off and then they back at work. You see what I'm saying? Because they gonna say it was justified because you broke line or whatever. So man, it was just it was a learning experience, man, that you had to get used to, and you had to keep it in your mind and be aware of that gun tower at all times. You know, and like I say, this not only emboldened the officers, it gave dudes more heart. because dudes will act better than they really was because they like, man, he ain't trying to fight. He ain't trying to fight because he ain't trying to get shot. You know what I'm saying? And they won't try to get shot, but they will use that as the energy to come at you with to act like a tough guy. Man, who you talking to? What? Yeah, what you want to do? Knowing that you don't want to do nothing and they don't want to do nothing. You see what I'm saying? So you had a lot of that foolishness going on in there. And when we started to go outside, they had these cages. And man, they had, I can't even remember how many it was. It's just so many, man. Maybe 20 or better cages, man, were just caged off with basketball courts. That's all they had for you. Besides the big yard, they had a pull-up bar, dip bar, and just the yard that you could run and jog and talk in. But the little cages that they put you in was basketball cages where you locked in there as just a basketball court. Dudes be in there playing ball. But dudes be in there playing ball and get hard foul and get to argue with each other or get to swinging on each other. Bow, bow. Everybody run over and get down on the ground, try to get out the way because them bullets is flying, man. Or pellets or whatever you want to call them. To me, they bullets, So they flying, man. So, it'll make you be where you really don't even want to be out in the block or you don't even want to be out on the yard because it's always going to be confrontation between inmates because of the simple fact of the atmosphere that we in. Everybody's irritated, frustrated, depressed, suppressed, oppressed. You see what I'm saying? So everybody got something on their chest that they want to get off, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to take it out on somebody that's locked up because the consequences are greater when you take it out on the CO, which in actuality, that's probably who deserves it because that's the person who is actually oppressing you because you in the same position that I'm in. I heard this one saying one time, I never forgot it, man. Same dog bit you, bit me. So why you mad at me? You know what I'm saying? So with that, it means that I'm in the same position you in. Why you beefing with me? You should be beefing with the people that's oppressing you, not me. I'm in the same position you in, So, but that's how the culture is in prison, man. It breeds that type of culture, man, where you have no outlet for your anger. You have no outlet for your frustration. So you take it out on the next person as soon as they get in your way or as soon as they oppose you, man. So, like I said, man, now they done start putting yard workers out there. So the yard workers is out there moving around. The compound is in a flow now. It's in a flow. So you can get messages from one building to the next building. You can get out on the yard and see people walking by and dudes is handing stuff off. Dudes is brave, man. As time went on, dudes started jumping out the line, looking, seeing where the tower was, tell somebody to watch the dude in the tower, make sure he ain't looking, and dude will run over to the fence and grab something and run back and get in line. Taking a chance on getting shot because he might want to get some drugs. He might want to get something that somebody had to give to him. He might want to get a kite. You know what I'm saying? So it started flowing more like that. And I just thought back to, it was just a minute ago when I first got here where they was just cold handling us like any kind of way they wanted to, where now as it was just totally opposite. Dudes was doing what they wanted to do more or less. And, they would still get jammed up. They would still get late, but at the same time, it was just more looseness. When the doors open, dudes start jamming their door because the people close your door. They got to celebrate. Close your door in 5 minutes, your door closed. So you locked out. You can't get in and get the things you left in your cell. So dudes be mad. They start building what we call a stopper. Roll up all these toilet paper rolls and make it a long pipe where they can stick it in the doorway. When the door try to close, it'll jam on that. It wouldn't close so they can go in and out of their cell. They give you a charge for that. Tampering with DOC devices or whatever, that's a serious charge. But dudes was doing it because dudes was just doing what they wanted to do. Now, the shower situation was crazy because on Sussex 2, man, the top tier was so high that if you got in the big shower or the showers that was beside it, if you was on the bottom floor, you look up, you looking right up in the shower. You can see all the dudes' business, man. So some females that used to be in there, them dudes used to be beefing about who going to get in the shower, because the female might have to come in there sometime, be sitting in the block, and with the way she's sitting in the block, she facing the shower. So dudes would get in the shower, and do their thing, knowing that the female can see them, So it just was crazy, man. Like I say, it's amazing how you could be in an environment and you could watch that whole environment change right in front of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? You blink, you in a whole nother dimension. You in a whole nother frame of what's going on, But cell fighting became the thing up there. Dudes had beef with each other. They'll set it up to go in the cell and rumble because that way they couldn't get shot. You up in the cell, they can't shoot you. You go in there, you handle your business, and the best man gonna come out. Some dudes get left laid in the cell, bust up, and they stuck. Until the police come around, then it's up to them to tell whether or not who did it to them or not. If you tell, then that's on your name. That's a tag that you're gonna carry for the rest of your bit. So you might just have to wear that whooping. The rule of thumb was, don't go in no cell with no dude if you don't know you're gonna come out victorious. Cause you might get killed up in there. And especially if you go up in a dude's cell and it's his cell. He has every right to, take your life in there. Because you in an unauthorized area. You in a place that you're supposed to be. The dude can simply say you ran up in this cell and he defended himself, and this is the result of that. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, we dealing with DOC. You still gonna pay some consequences, but you're gonna pay less of consequences because the law is on your side. He invaded your space. You see what I'm saying? So when dudes did get the beef and say, let's go to my cell, no, let's go to my cell. You see what I'm saying? That's how it was going on. But that cell fighting stuff that was what was happening up there, opposed to fighting in that block. Only dudes that fought in that block, they was really scared. They didn't want to go in the cell, and they'd go head on and just swing on you because they know it ain't going to last long, because they know people going to start shooting, and they know the people going to start running in. So that's why I say they gave them dudes an extra sense of heart why they was on Sussex too, because they can act more, they punch in your face and then just drop down on the ground. So it was just insane, man. I prayed that stuff like that never even happened to me because, man, I don't know, man. I probably would have fought until I felt them little pellets hitting on me. But at the same time, I won't let nobody just punch me in my face and get away with it. And you had some dudes on there, like I say, they don't know who you are. They just starting to do time, and all they trying to do is make a name for themselves. So you had some dudes on there talking crazy, man. But that dude that came up to me about them Clippers, he was still on my mind, always on my mind. Every time he walked by me, then he just walked by me and looked at me and be gritting like he was a real tough guy. So I already had it in my mind he was going to be my first victim on there, to set the pace, to let these dudes know who they was dealing with. And sure enough, I seen him one day, man. He was coming in from the basketball court. He was coming in from rec. They had basketball. I didn't go out. I stayed in. He came in. He walked by me. He gritting, looking all tough, acting like he bad. And see, what you want to do is, when they bust them doors, and they're going to bust them doors for 10 minutes so people can run in and get their stuff and go get a shower, because you got a certain amount of time to get in and get out and get your shower. I just sat there right there and told my little dude, I said, man, look, watch this cell, man. Don't let nobody come up in here, And as soon as he went up in there, I just went straight up in the cell, and I ain't even say nothing. When he looked up, he said, man, what? Pop! Popped him right in the mouth. Boom, drove him straight to the ground. Now, I could have dogged him. I could have did him dirty because he young and he don't know what he talking about and he don't know what he getting himself into. But just because he got a little size on him, he think he a tough guy. So when I drove him down to the ground, I just get in on top of him and grab him. And I tell him, I said, man, if you ever walk by me and say something to me, run your mouth, get around them little dudes and showing off. If you think this something, I'm coming in here next time. And when I leave up out here, you ain't coming up out here. He tell me, all right, man, just let me up. I said, I'm going to let you up. But don't get up in that crazy, dog. Now, this is a dangerous situation, too, because he a young dude, but at the same time, I don't know what's going on. By now, them Bethlehams is in circulation. They in circulation. They own the compound. So he could have had one. It ain't no question. I most definitely had one, but he could have had one. But I ain't take that in there with me because I knew he couldn't do nothing with me. You see what I'm saying? But I let him up. When he get up, he get to puffing up and talking something. I'm saying, what's up? Why you do that? Huh? I said, you know why I did it. I said, you should have been got it. You know what I'm saying? But by now I know somebody done told him who I am. So I know he got a little bit of, apprehension in his head, but at the same time, it ain't stopping from walking by me, gritting on me, looking at me, staring, trying to act tough. I know he doing it for the crowd. But that's why you isolate them and you get them by themselves. So you let them know. And that's what I told him. I said, ain't nobody got to know what's happening here. You ain't got to try to save face. I said, you ain't got no bust up. You ain't bleeding. You ain't nothing. I said, I'm just letting you know, dog, I ain't the one to be played with. For real. I ain't the one to be played. And I said, I'm also letting you know, if you make me nervous, I'm going to hurt you, bro. I'm going to hurt you bad. And anybody that you bring with you. He said, yeah, all right. All right. I said, what all right mean? Because you got to get a clear understanding of what all right mean. He said, all right, man. All right. I leave up out the cell. I ain't had no more problems with him. No more problems with him. And I know it starts circulating because that's what it do. Because in there, dudes gossip, man, more than a gossip columnist, man. Anything that happens in there, somebody going to know about it and somebody going to talk about it. You see what I'm saying? But I wanted them to know that I want to be played with so I can send a message that don't think just because you see me out here cutting hair and I'm and all this and everything sweet. Nah, ain't nothing sweet over here, bro. Nothing. Ain't nothing sweet, man. Nothing over here. Ain't nothing sweet. So, after that little incident, man, I ain't basically had no more problems in that block because dudes knew I was coming and they knew I wasn't playing no games. And that's what I wanted them to know. So, like I said, I stayed in my routine. I just worked out, cut hair, played the phone, used the phone all the time, At this time, like I say, I ain't get into a whole lot of situation, a whole lot of talk about this topic right here, right? But as y'all already knew, that previously I was married. When I went into prison, to my wife or whatever, we had, by this time, we had already separated. We had got divorced and everything. But around this time, she had started coming back into my life. Me and her had started talking. We had been writing each other on a regular basis. Visitation had started up there. She had started coming to see me. So we was trying to, reconcile and get our situation back together, which was great for me, because I needed that. I needed that structure. I needed that stability to keep me focused on what I needed to do. Plus, I was in love. That was my wife, So we had got back together, man. So I started going back and forth to the visits. So that was another incentive, which always be an incentive for you not to get locked up or not to get in trouble because of the situation. Because you don't want to lose that contact. Because when you're in the hole, you can't get the visits, unless you talk through a glass screen, which is really a waste of time. You can't use the phone but probably once a month, so you can't talk. And at this time, I talk on the phone every day, multiple times, sometimes 10, 15 times a day, which also causes problems in the block because dudes want to get on the phone. But when you in it, man, you don't care who want to get on the man. I'm using the phone, So you turn into a hog, man. You start hogging the phone. And dudes start whispering and talking, dudes, and some dudes might want to fight over it. But when you doing what you doing, you don't care what nobody else want to do, and whatever drama they had, I was with it because I was going to use that phone, So, yeah, man, so I had got into a little slight comfort zone, man, while I was all right on there, the way the situation was going because I understood the compound there and how it was moving and all the moving parts within. So I had got into my own little space, man, going to visits, working out, talking on the phone, cutting hair. That was my routine. All the other foolishness, I was leaving it alone because I ain't want no parts of it, As time went on, man, I ain't really had no problems with nobody in there, man. The only problem that I was really having on a regular basis was with this clown lieutenant, man. He always came in there and tried to boss people, no matter who it was, no matter what you was doing. He just the type of dude that had the personality that he was just pro-officer and he didn't like convicts or he felt like you was beneath him, so he was going to treat you as such. Talk down on you, talk down to you, always got a problem with whatever you doing. Oh, man, tuck your shirt in. Oh, man, you fix your shirt. Whatever it was, he had always had something negative to say. And I ain't like him. I ain't never like to see him coming. Every time he come on the floor, dudes holler, lieutenant in here, lieutenant in the building, or Jack ASS in here, or whatever. And you're like, who said it? Yeah, say it in my face. Yeah, you going to jail. You know, that's the type of dude he was. But like I say, he'll come over there, watch me cutting hair, try to critique what I'm doing. Yeah, you should try to do that. Man, get out here, man. Is you a barber? You know what I'm saying? But that's how he was. I ain't like him at all. He know I ain't like him. I'm 100% sure he ain't like me because he know I ain't bow down to him. You know, but I always had problems with him, man. So I always tried to be mindful of what I say to him because I know he'll lie and get you crossed up and get you locked up. I know he ain't like the fact that I actually had the job in there. So I knew any opportunity that he had to cross me up, he was going to use it. You know what I'm saying? But every time I seen him, man, I just, put on the stone face to let him know, man, yeah, I don't like you, bro. I don't like you at all. And if we was in a different circumstance and different settings, I would show you just how much I do not like you, And so like I say, he was the only dude that I was really having problems with. Other than that, I had navigated my way to, I could say I was in halfway decent spot, man. My cellar that I had, he ended up getting moved because they were still moving people. They were still like, you might be in this block for a minute and then they just up and come and move like 10, 15 people and put you in another block or put you in another building. So I ended up getting another cellar. This cellar was a cool dude, man. We called him Mighty Whitey, man. They called him Mighty Whitey, man, because he was smart. He was a little intellectual, man. He was a cool dude, man. Shout out to Mighty Whitey, man. So yeah, we and him was in the cell together. We used to sit in there and play chess, man, all the time. And he was a real good dude, man. Smart dude. And he really had a good chess game at the time. His chess game might have been slightly better than mine, but we used to go back and forth. But, I was still learning, getting to perfect my chess game. But, yeah, man, so I used to be in there with him. And he had actually grew up and went to school with Pharrell and Chad, of the Neptunes, He went to school out there in Virginia Beach with them. And, yeah, he was a cool dude, man. He was all right. I ended up running into him, years down the line and other places and stuff like that, too. But so, I had a decent celly. I had somewhat got myself back in the comfort zone because I was back with my wife. So I was feeling, okay about my situation, steady shooting up to the day where I probably get ready to go up for my first parole. And, so I was just trying to stay on the straight and narrow, man. And, you could try to do that all you want in prison, man, but you set your mind to doing something, but prison might have they might have other plans for you because you got to go with the flow of what's going on in here. I can remember being out on the basketball court one day and I'm playing ball, man, and this little dude, man, he just running his mouth. He barking. It's like he got something on his chest. He want to get it off. And I was on the opposite team, and I could see his frustration build up, and he just talking in general. When dudes get to talking in general, you talk about, oh, man, all these B-A-N's, you know what I'm saying? And he said, but who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? But he won't really say no name. So I remember a play where he got the ball and I'm checking him and he started to try to throw elbows and all, and I just grabbed him and shoved him up into the fence. I said, man, what's wrong with you, man? So he turned around and he want to fight. I don't want to fight because I don't want to get shot. He don't care, he young. So he like coming like, what's up? And I'm looking up at the tower because that's the first thing you do when you in a situation like this, on a compound like this. You better be watching them towers, man, because they will shoot you just for arguing like that. So I'm like, man, you better pipe down. I said, wait till you go in the block. If you want to fight, let's go in the block. No, man. So other dudes start grabbing, telling me, come on. So I'm like, oh, Lord, man, here we go again. Another one of these little fools. You know what I'm saying? But he piped down because dudes got to pipe down. But yet in his mind, he really thinking that he could rumble. You know what I'm saying? He really thinking he could beat me or whatever. So we go back in the building. I'm looking at him, but I ain't really want no drama because, like I say, I'm on track. I got my visits. I got my wife's situation. I got the job. I'm good. I'm trying to wait. I go up for parole within a couple of years. So I'm trying to stay out of all situations. And here it is. I go back in there. I ain't got no intention to do nothing to him. Man, don't you know this little clown come down to my cell. He said, man, you trying to see me? I said, young blood, you better get away from me, man. He said, no, let's go in the cell. Let's go. I said, man, you don't want to go in the cell with me. Why I don't? So immediately I started looking at his body. you know what I'm saying, trying to peep if I can see if he got something on him. Because I'm thinking if he that brave, you must got something on you because you puny, you young, you little. What could you possibly think you could do to me? Man, that little dude had a little hot though. I got to give it to him, man. He walked up in my cell. Walked up in there, went to the back of the cell and turned around. So I tell my cellar, man, I said, man, watch the cell, man. Don't let anybody come up in here. So I walk up in there. When I walk up in there, I said, man, you sure you want to do this? He just charged me and started swinging. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Now I could have hurt the little dude. You know, this one of the rare times that I had sympathy for him, man, because I knew he couldn't do nothing, and I knew he was trying to impress his little buddies to say he ran up in the cell with me. Man, he come swinging that little wild stuff. I just went straight up under him and grabbed him right up under here and picked him up and shoved him straight down to the ground. Man, his head hit the ground so hard, boom. I thought I hurt him worse than I wanted to hurt him. So then when his head hit the ground, he's sitting there, he like in a little daze. And I just grabbed him around the neck and was holding him around the neck. I said, man, I could kill you up in here, man. Do you know who you playing with? And he's just, and he's scrambling and scrambling, trying to get up, and I'm holding him down there. I said, bro, I'm going to let you up, man. Get up out this cell, man, before you get hurt, man. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, dog. He said, and I let him up. So he jumped up, and he still act like he might wanted to fight. So I just punched him straight in the chest. I ain't even hit him in the face. I punched him straight in the chest. Boom! Drove him all the way back to he almost fell out the door, you know. And he jumped up again. He said, yeah. Don't be talking to me on the court, and went on about his business. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I said, this dude is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you meet him in there like that, crazy as I don't know what. He had lost his mind. But I guess he wanted to impress his buddies, to send a message to his young buddies that he'll fight anybody. And he would, because he came up in there with me. You know, and I could have hurt him, but I ain't want to hurt him because I knew he knew not what he was doing. You see what I'm saying? And you run into those situations in there like that where you might, you know, be in a situation, but at the same time, you always got to be aware. He could have had the Bethlehem on him. He could have had some other little dudes and try to run in there with him, you know, because they jump you and all that. All of that could have happened. But I judged that situation right, and I felt like that he wanted to, you know, impress his buddies. He even came to me later on and apologized and said, man, he just wanted to let me know that he won't no chump and he won't no sucker. And I tried to give him some good game. I said, brother, trying to let somebody know that just to impress somebody else can get you killed, man. It can get you killed. I said, you don't know who I am, what I got on my mind, what I got in my cell, and you had the audacity to come up. I said, man, you can get killed like that. I said, I don't know how much time you got to do, bro, but you better do it a better way than that. Don't never be trying to impress them other dudes, man, because trying to impress them other dudes will get you late. They sitting back on the sideline. They want to see drama, but they don't want to be in drama. You know, and I think I dropped some good game on him, man. He listened to me or whatever. I watched him for the rest of the time I was there. He was a low-key dude. He tried to pipe down a little bit. I don't know if it was from what I told him or just he could see. He started to see and understand. You know, because dudes come in there, they be trying to find their way, man. They be trying to find their way. They don't know how to do this time, but they know they got to do this time. And they want to do it without as less drama as possible, without dudes trying to take advantage of them, without dudes trying to handle them. So they try to do something to let the message be out there. Hey, I ain't going for it. But you got to find a better way, man. And running up in somebody's cell that you don't know who you dealing with, that ain't the way right there, man. So like I say, those little incidents like that, I brushed them off, man. And like I say, I was in a good little space, and man, had come one morning, man, they used to do this all the time. They'd call rec and they'd let us out. Then we wait by the doors, and then when the doors open, we go in the block. When they go in the block, dudes rush to the phone. Dudes trying to get on the phone to use the phone. There's only a certain amount of phones. So dudes is trying to race to get to the phone. They'll shoot you for running. Stop running. Stop running. So dudes were trying to get to the phone, though, because there's a limited amount of phones. So when they open the doors and I get to a phone and I get on the phone, and we ain't on the phone for 5 minutes, good 5 minutes. Now, the thing about that is this. When you get on the phone, it's 15 minutes. As soon as the people accept that call, they got to pay for that 15 minutes. Even if you get off earlier than the 15 minutes, that surcharge has already been added to you. So people want to use their whole call. Man, we on the phone less than 5 minutes. Had this clown, Lieutenant Hamlet, come talking about, everybody lock up, we passing out laundry. We passing out the laundry bed. Everybody lock back up. What you let us out for? You see what I'm saying? You let us out, then you say, I'm on the phone. I ain't getting off the phone. I done paid for my phone call. I want to talk on the phone. I ain't getting off the phone. So dudes started get off the phone. Get off the phone, man. So dudes started getting off the phone, mumbling, complaining, whatever, they getting off. Dudes going to their cell, locking up. I'm still on the phone. He come walking over and say, hey, you. Didn't you hear me say get off the phone? Man, I look at him, I said, man, I paid for this call, man. I'm gonna finish my call, man. He said, oh, no, you ain't. You gonna get off the phone. I said, man, I'm gonna finish this call. I paid for the call. So he pulled out his little walkie-talkie. He said, everybody get in the cell. He said, oh, you going to jail. You going to jail, that's what you going. I said, listen here, bro. If you don't get away from me while I'm on this phone, we going more than the jail, man. I'm on the phone talking to my people, man. Get away from me. He said, oh, you threatening me? And then right over top of me with the gun. They got the gun aimed right at me. He said, you see him? He said, I'm going to tell you one more time to get off the phone. And I looked straight at him. I said, and I'm going to tell you one more time, I ain't getting off.
The bacon special. Yeah. Pure deliciousness. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know. And I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.